today I had a call where we're discussing the new SRFI for Unified Test Definition API. And as a foundation for this API, we will be using suitbl test definition API. But during the discussion, we came up with some ideas on how to improve existing suitbl API. So the SRFI will be more sleek and suitable for other test runner implementations and other testing libraries that will be using the same definition API. The overall idea of the SRFI will be to provide a minimalistic but very flexible API for defining tests and let to implement as much logic and to control as much behavior as possible on the test runner side, which is not defined by SRFI, but defined by the implementation of the library. So we have a unified test definition API that will be used across different testing libraries. It will be the same, but the actual logic of test execution will be offloaded to test runners, and it can be different for different testing libraries. It will prevent unnecessary fragmentation. I hope it will prevent unnecessary fragmentation of already very fragmented scheme ecosystem, at least in the scope of testing. And those test definitions should be reusable between different testing libraries. So, for example, we're using one library and we're writing tests for it, but later you decided that this library lacks some functionality that you would like to have, and the other library has it. So you just need to swap the library, and the tests will remain the same because they use a unified test definition API. That's the idea. I'm under Tropin. I work on operating system and programming languages, and a lot of free and open source software along the way, including this testing library and the SRFI we are working on. And today I will be refactoring the library bit to incorporate the ideas that we had during the discussion of new upcoming SRFI. And one very simple idea that was inspired by Joseph, who also do a lot of things for scheme ecosystem and writes a lot of libraries and articles and projects, including SSA project, SSS project, including another testing library, and probably something else. And one thing that I saw in his library that he uses a suite instead of test suite, which makes like quite a lot of sense. And overall idea of using a bit more shorter and concise name looks good to me, and we discussed it with Raymond, and he also agrees that suite may work better, and especially having the fact that we can use prefix when we are importing the symbols from other libraries. So, for example, we can use t colon or t slash for test related symbols, and it will be t slash suit or test slash suit, which is already very descriptive. But like just in case we encounter some naming conflicts, for example, you can have like some kind of different suit in your code already, so you will just import the library with t prefix, and we'll use t slash suite. Okay, let's write down the tasks for today. The first one will be renaming test suite to just suite, and another one will be to use records instead of procedures for properties of test by sum. It's another thing that can be improved in suitbl library because we use test procedure properties, which is Guile's mechanism, which is not very portable, and we can use more generic mechanism to basically achieve the same functionality. So I will add those two tasks to my list. I already have a lot to do. This one will be the first one. I guess we also would like to clean up this long list. For example, I can remove this one, and let's comment all the tasks that we have. I will commit all the tasks so we can implement the functionality and remove corresponding tasks in the same commit, which is quite handy to keep track of the number of to-dos. Otherwise, they will keep growing if I don't touch them. And also, I need to clean up. For sure, I have a few tasks that are already done, and a few that probably not actual anymore. But let's start from this relatively simple tasks of naming test suites to just suites. Let's start from here, from the root of the model where we export our suite and suite sum, and also probably define suite as well. I still don't know if we need a separate defined suite, but let's keep it for now. Let's keep it for now, and we'll decide later. I will go and manually change all the encounters so far for better control. Also, using suite instead of test suite will save a bit of typing for long names like suitbl, test suite, it's minor, but still good. I will do a few minor modifications right now, and later I will do the grep for the whole project, and probably will update in more automatic way, because right now I'm not only updating the code but also look at the context, so I can maybe think about some related things requiring update. Suite body sunk. Suite sunk. There's another way to do basically the same thing. For example, this to do also make a lot of sense. Maybe I need to address it. The problem here is that we have a syntax, a macro, suitbl, and we have the same name for suitbl that we return as a result. We don't have this problem in test sunk because we return lambda directly. I noticed this problem during today's call because we were discussing implementation, and it was a bit of confusion on this part because it's basically the same name. Maybe we can name it load suite. So it doesn't fit. Unfortunately. Another cool idea that I recently found probably in some mail is to use capital K's for macro arguments or syntax arguments, so you can easier distinguish between variables and pattern variables, or how they call templates variables, template, whatever they called, doesn't matter much. That means that I will be able to visually distinguish that suite description in this case and in this case is a pattern variable. This suite suitbl suite. I don't know so far about this one. I will copy this task to the list of tasks here. Name suitbl inlet. Okay, I will address it later. I will keep it for now and we'll address it later. So test suite, it will be just suite. And if I Okay, now let's find all encounters. Test speed. I will start at test runner. We don't have access to test speeds themselves, only to speed by design. Yes. Define public. Oops. Okay. Let's go one more time with the same stuff. Yes. Speed. Speed. Start. Items. Run. Okay. Just thinking if we need to rename this one. Okay. Have a lot of changes. Take a look at this. Quite a lot of stuff updated. Nice, but we also need to update corresponding tests. No. Yes. Oh, oh. Okay. Next rounds of updates. Now let's hope we didn't break anything. Wonderful, wonderful, it still works. So happy about it. Excited. You know, I learned recently that you have to produce oversaturated emotions when you use your web camera and do some online calls or streaming or talks or whatever, because on the other side your oversaturated emotions feels like normal emotions, and if you keep talking the same way as you do in your usual life, on the other side it will feel like too dim, too quiet, not that engaging. Because when you are in person, it's like less distance. You feel like the air going between you. You feel like other aspects of your interactions. You can see like the whole body, but when you do it on camera, you have like a small rectangle and you have like parts of the hand only visible, and you have a bit of voice which is also probably covered by filter, pop filter, by membrane of microphone, by the wire, by the compression, by all the aspects. The same for the video, and the final result which get delivered to the person who is watching you or listening to you will be, you know, much less engaging. So you have to be a bit more saturated during the remote conversations. I wouldn't say that I'm a fan of being oversaturated, over emotional, because I'm like just not very emotional and saturated person. But I can really feel that when I teach offline, and especially when I teach in different language, native language, I become much more engaging. Like people are listening with their how to call jaw down and with like eyes wide open. When I do the same during the call, I can already see that people like a bit boring sometimes, sometimes a bit less focused. And when I do it in a different language, in my non-native language, it's one more level of one more filter that reduce the engagement and reduce the emotion people get from this interaction. And I really like to be the one who sparks the joy, who takes the attention of the listener and brings the attention to the problems that I'm passionate about. But at the moment, I can do it relatively or really good only in my native language and in offline situation. But I hope with time I will be able to do it online as well, and not only in my native language. So I practice a bit to make it possible. Hello guys. Oh, it's a lot of people already in the chat. Hello Vivek. Hello Ayman. Hello Christopher. Type a subtraction. Audio is stuttering for me. Okay, let me listen for my audio. Oh, I see. It's stuttering, sure. The reason it can be the first one, that I have a noise gate. I can disable noise gate and check if it works again. It's still stuttering. Okay, let's do this way. I disabled pulse audio input and use mic input. This way. I disabled put. It works much better. And again. It works much better. And again. Okay. Problem with audio input capture, pulse audio. Which is very sad. Pum pum pum. Yeah, I see like a bit of delay of pulse audio capture. Let's try ISA capture. The reason why I have a separate audio capture is to make it possible to apply filter to it. Okay, we disabled this one, and now let's use we are using ISA, and let's see how it works. Oh, it sounds pretty nice. Oh, it sounds pretty nice. Very clear, very clear. And now we will use ISA capture and we'll add the same filter for noise gate. Also, I need to adjust the level to make it a bit less annoying. Pum pum pum. And noise gate. And here I added a noise gate. So now when I'm not talking, instead of hearing the background noise and all that stuff, you should hear nothing. And let's see how it works. It works okay. It's a bit strange feeling when I start talking and like the background noise appears. It's a bit strange feeling when I start talking and like the background noise appears. It's a bit strange feeling. But I guess it's okay. Let me know if it will be too annoying. I will try to adjust. Because I try to get a better quality of the sound. Because the sound is actually the most important things in the video, not the image quality. The typo was on screen in the div buffer. Let's see. Subtraction, I guess it was subtraction. Let's see how it's actually spelled. I guess subtraction. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. I will update after. Yeah. I like to do this thing. I spell the word one way and spell it the different way on the next line. So if somebody will say you don't know English, you should learn English better, I can say, it's just a misspell. It has like a correct spelling just here. Actually, I just don't care about like to be too precise about spelling. I try to be correct, but if I'm not a big deal. Let's commit this stuff first, and after that I will fix the subtraction. This is quite big. Sweet. My library is so sweet. You see? The sweetest library on the planet. I just double check everything that I changed. This one and this one. Okay, everything else is not committed, so we don't bother. And we actually can remove the task. The name test suite 2. Okay, test suite. Okay. Suitable. Rename test suite. And now subtraction. Oh, I can't find it anymore. Subtraction. Can't wait to try out suitbl, by the way. I hope to be able to throw away my own testing library I wrote in frustration. I'm also very excited about trying out suitbl. I use it at the moment only for one project, for one module of RnRS, for suitbl itself. So I'm testing suitbl in terms of suitbl. However, today or yesterday, I don't remember exactly when I started to do so, probably even today, I started to work on very exciting addition to Arei called Arei testing, which at the moment just have one hotkey in the key map, which is Arei testing run, which sends a simple operation RnRS testing run, and it's very hacky at the moment and not generic at all. But what it does, let's see if it works. Oh, it seems I don't have RnRS executed. Okay, we connected to RnRS. We evaluated our model, and this model already executed tests. Let's do it again. Yeah, now it doesn't execute tests. So if we check the current state of test runner, it's empty. We load the tests and they get automatically executed at the moment because it is the way current default test runner works. We will adjust it maybe a bit later. But the funny thing that we have this function run tests, which is misspelling of run tests, intentional misspelling. And what it does, it takes a look at current state of the test runner, and here it finds loaded tests, and it sees there's two procedures, test 2 and test 1, and it basically executes them. You see, test 2 and test 1 get executed. And probably it is the opposite order of the loading, but it details. It is a detail. We will fix it later. The cool thing that I can rerun this function without actually touching this exact function. I can be anywhere in my model, and I will type Ctrl+C, Ctrl+T, Ctrl+T, and you see this test get executed. And now I can write another test, which just prints something, and here I will do format true, printing some useful stuff. And oops, whoa, how I jumped here. I evaluate this test, and you can see it's get executed. We need to add a new line here, like this, and it's get executed. And now I type Ctrl+C, Ctrl+T, Ctrl+T, and you can see it get executed again with the rest of the tests that are already loaded. So that means that I can re-execute all the loaded tests, which is already quite cool. So I don't need to jump between different expressions and to run them manually, like to evaluate them manually. I can write all necessary expressions in a test body and load this test and just rerun this test multiple times, which is very handy. But in addition to that, our tests can potentially fail and throw an exception. So I hope it will bring a debugger when the test like get a failure. Let's actually try it. Throw hello. Okay, it brought the debugger, but if it bring, yeah, very nice. You can see I defined the test which throws an exception, and now I'm in completely different place of my code. I evaluate different expression and do all the different stuff, and after that I rerun a test. It fails, and it immediately brings me a debugger that I can use to navigate to the point of failure, but also I can navigate through the whole stack and like see all the calls that happened and lead to this problem. And later we will add to this debugger much more capabilities rather than expecting stack and jumping between function definitions. We will be able to evaluate expressions in context of particular frame, for example, or inspect local variables, arguments, and other things. Maybe do some disassembly or whatever we would find good for debugging. We will add it here. So this is already quite exciting. So instead of jumping around your files and manually re-evaluating stuff, you can define tests, and inside tests you don't even need to write an asserts. You can just run the functions that you would like to rerun multiple times, and you can update the function definition. For example, let's comment it out and let's re-evaluate the whole model. This will reset test runner's state. So when I will restart my tests, I will see only this test loaded. And now let's make this test call a function. And let's define this function. And here we will throw. No, let's do something legal. We have an argument a. Let's format through a \n, and here what else we can do? We can return a like this. Should be good, and we'll do like this. Reload everything, and we see how it works. It says a hello, printing some useful stuff. Works good so far. Now I update the function definition and print something else and re-evaluate only the function. And now I restart the tests, and now you see that the output of the test changed because we updated the function definition. And now, if for some reason our function starts to throw exceptions, and we restart the test, we get an exception, and we see that function was called with hello argument from here, and we can jump. Oh, actually the line numbers are not exactly correct because it is old line numbers. I need to update it, but you can see we can jump through the stack, through the call stack. I don't know, it's like really exciting. I still can't believe that we do so cool things. So, and this is not the only thing that is possible with, you know, this automatic test re-execution. So far, we're re-executing all the tests, but the test runner is quite flexible entity. We can configure it, and for example, we can make it to rerun only failed tests. So we set a flag, a configuration flag to the test runner. We also can set it through the transient interface. For example, we have a transient interface, and here we have flags for configuring test runner, and it will be -f flag, for example, which will restart only tests that failed before. That will save us a lot of time if we have like 100 tests in our test suite. 100 tests in our test suite. And it will run only a few tests that failed before. And we update the function definition, rerun tests, we update the function definition, rerun tests, and when we have 0 failing tests, it will rerun all the tests to make sure that everything works. Like, sounds like extremely time saving and rapid feedback loop with immediate access to debugger, but also very flexible. If you don't want to bring a debugger on test failure, you just set another flag, -d, disable debugger, or whatever it will be called. And instead of bringing debugger, you will just see the output here, or maybe in a separate buffer with more like detailed test reporting, and you like restart tests until they stop failing. Or if you want like to have a debugger brought to you, you just set it. You just rerun tests, get debugger, understand the problem, fix the implementation, and repeat the process until all the tests are passing. Exciting, isn't it? Will you support debug asserts in the code that only runs in test? Do you mean that like somewhere in my usual function I will assert it's a message from IRC channel, right? Right. But it's unrelated to current stream, so I will reply later. So you mean in my usual function I would like to check that it's a symbol A, for example, like this. Is this what you mean? Uh, I would say I didn't think about it. Like maybe someday I was thinking about asserts and about using asserts somewhere outside of test scope, but I didn't think about it too much. However, it's quite a good point. In dev build, we can use those asserts and we can put them just inside our code. And here, when our function, our test get executed. Oh, let's stop throwing an exception, right? When our test get executed, we will see that the symbol A is actually symbol, and we have check. Yeah, it's quite nice idea. And for the production build, we can just make all asserts to return just undefined value or something like this. Quite smart. I will add it to feature requests. To do make is assert usable in production code and disable it in release builds. The asserts themselves at the moment won't bring a debugger, because if, for example, the assert is failing, is it correct predicate? Yeah. If assert is failing, you will just see it failing like this, right? And debugger won't be brought to you. However, we can add a special flag to the test runner, like debug on failure. And instead of just printing that we have our assertion violated, our invariant violated, we can actually throw an exception. Here, run assert. We have assert func, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, default run assert. And inside default run assert, blah blah blah, test reporter, Let's just comment out the current implementation and just throw an exception. Yeah, just throw an exception. Assert failed, like this. And let's restart all the stuff, and let's see how it fails. Throw to key assert failed, and we see that we failed here in function, just right here. Yeah, so basically, instead of just reporting a failure to stdout or whatever, we can throw an exception and bring our debugger to the place where our assert is located. And we can evaluate, for example, arguments of a function a just in the context of our function. And we can see the value of a, and we can like try to modify it or play with it and do some other, programmer stuff. Okay, let's return back our default assertion logic. We will rework it someday, but that's pretty fun stuff. And the most exciting thing that I can do it easily. You see, I just like edit a few lines and it already works. Of course, the polishing will take some time and the correct implementation as well, but you can already see how it like gets together. And for example, you can see that when we get an exception in the middle of the test, the end of the test is not printed, but it's also fixable. Okay, let's get back to our tasks. For how long we already stream? Do I have some kind of timer or what? Maybe here. Oh, it's already an hour. We're online. Okay, let's get back to the list of tasks. One more task that we can finish today is this one. Hello, Pravin Kushinpi. What I'm making? I'm making a testing library for Scheme. Actually, I already have a testing library for Scheme. I just improving it at the moment, so we can write a specification for the test definition API and submit it as a SRFI, so other testing libraries can use it as well. And during the stream, I basically did a small refactoring, and after that we were experimenting with the stuff and with different use cases and modified a test runner. Am I working any org? You mean in any organization? You're welcome. Oh, very welcome. Let's get back to the task I wanted to accomplish during today's stream. The task is related to this part of the code. We have a test sunk, and this test sunk wraps the body into thunk, attaches the metadata to it, and sends this thunk to the test runner, and test runner do some magic with it. However, set procedure properties is very Guile specific procedure and not available in other scheme implementations or in most of scheme implementations. What we can actually do here, instead of attaching metadata directly to the thunk through this procedure that mutates the thunk, we can create a record which will consist of two parts of the thunk and metadata for the thunk, and we can send this record to the test runner so he can process further. Not a problem. You're not disturbing much. I'm quite good. If I'm like in a process of thinking or of refactoring, I won't just reply to the chat. So today I'm a bit more interactive and talkative than usual. Usually I'm more focused on the work. So the idea is to take the metadata, combine it with thunk through the record, and send it to the test runner. That means our test runner expectations will be violated, and we will need to update the test runner implementation as well. By the way, do we need to use records for this? I'm not sure. For a couple of reasons. I don't really like records because they're like a 3 or maybe 4 implementations of record in Guile, so I never know which one to use, and I never know which one is more portable and which has like better API. So I prefer to avoid records at all costs. And actually, in most cases, if you have a good associative data structures built in your language, like it is the case for Clojure, you don't even need the records. So and also records like introduce another dependency to my library, but I would like to keep the amount of dependencies for the library as less as possible. So you can even think that I have explicit imports for every function I use, so I can track the dependencies easier, and when I will be making this library more portable, it will be easier to get rid of unnecessary dependencies. So here right now I depend only on SRFI. This one is dev dependency. Atomic box update is also very small function which can be inlined. Regexp and file traversal is related to discovery and probably should be in a different model. The exceptions also maybe the exceptions I use somewhere, but also not a big deal. The match I can avoid using the match at all, and atomics. So basically my library depends only on atomics at the moment, and on SRFI1 a bit, just a few convenience functions for list manipulations, and that's it. And I can get rid of both of this dependency. This one will be hard to get rid of. So basically I have only one like really hard dependency for the library at the moment, and all that is inlineable or substitutable. Next, Tropin SRFI new record types. Nah, Probably next SRFI will be about immutable data structures. I would like to implement a very similar data structures to Clojure, like maps, sets, vectors, lists with polymorphic API and with reader macro. So you can have a special reader macro, and you can actually represent those associative data structures as literals in the language. And all of them will be immutable. So when you modify, it will create a new version. And this should really increase the usability of the language, of scheme language. Because right now I suffer. I just really suffer when I have to deal with all those lists and vectors and manipulate them and do the traversal. It's a nightmare. I mean, it's better probably than something too low level like C, because if in C I would like to do some immutable and concurrent safe code, I will go insane. But in scheme it's not that convenient, and not enough convenient for high level language, I would say. Bye bye, see you later, Pravenkushinpi. Sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly, but I try my best. Okay. The idea I had, instead of, can I go back to test, test song. Instead of using record here, I can just use a list, I guess. The good thing about record that it feels like, you know, some value with a type and with rigid structure. There's something about it. The bad thing that to access the fields you usually need to export accessing functions, accessors, which is very inconvenient, because, you know, if you have a field name, you would like to just like access it. If you have a record and you know that this record contains this field, you would like to access this field without like exporting or importing one more function to access this exact field. There is an API to access a record data type, or how it's called, and extract the accessor function for a particular field from it by field name, but it is completely unusable and completely inconvenient API. So the usability is like around zero of such a thing. So let's try, instead of this thing, do something like, how about just making a list like this. We just do the list, test body song. I will name it horribly, so I will need to fix it. And instead of test body song, it will be test body. Let's call it TBT as well. So I will need to rename it after stream. And now let's do test body song search, and let's find all the entries. Here I don't need any information. Here, original test body sunk. We will need to extract tbt and we'll take tbt. Only recently I was reviewing my intern's code, and I said it's a bad idea to use lists to represent some compound values which contains a lot of different things, and the values that can potentially be extended later during the project lifetime, because first of all you have positional arguments and you need like to be all the arguments present, or you need at least default values for them. So it's much better to use associative data structures here, like a list, for example, where you can have explicit key and value pairs. So in my case, for tbt, would be a list which contains. Let's actually do it a list already, because using car and cadr and all that stuff is kinda lame and unreadable. So it will be test body sunk like this, and test metadata like this. Okay, and now it's much more descriptive, right, than like a list of 2 elements, which potentially will become a list of 10 elements, and you will need to like fill all the gaps, and if you screw up and accidentally, you know, misplace or miscalculate the position of the value, you will get a lot of troubles. Here it's much clearer. Now let's get back to the place where we had test body sunk. Oh, actually it was here, assoc ref, and here assoc ref tbt test body sunk, right? Procedure documentation, no, not this one. Now we need to this is another pain in the back. We have a list, and we have a nested list, and now I need to extract a value which is somewhere on the path inside this data structure, nested data structure. There is no such function to do so out of the box. Oh, I didn't see I love closure too. That's cool to hear. Actually, Clojure is very nice language. It has its own problems, but probably most of the most beautiful language that I saw so far, and quite practical. So what I would like to do, I would like to do a sock in, and here I would like to just list all the keys I want, like test metadata. Let's call it just metadata. Metadata, and inside metadata, what I need? Description. I would like to access, you know, like this, but unfortunately I can't do it. Do I have this kind of function implemented somewhere? No. That's it. Okay, what I can do? I can do chain original test body sung sock ref chain metadata and here description like this. It is a horrible hack because chain basically a macro that nests forms into each other, and of course this, because this is a macro, it has all the problems of macros, not being composable, not being like first class citizen. I can't like send a macro as an argument to a function and so on. Like, it's a lot of stuff which is wrong with macros. Okay, metadata documentation, right? Suitbl test metadata documentation. Good. What else? We have original test body sung, blah blah blah. Copy procedure properties. No. We have new test body sung, and we just do the following trick. New test body sung and new TBT. We create a new TBT which will be test body sung, new test body sung, and metadata ref TBT metadata like this. Okay, and add loaded tests new TBT, right? Run test. Okay, go to run test. Not this one, but this one. And now it probably will need to a sock ref test body sock like this. Good. Where we have load tests. Okay, seems good. Unbound test body sung. Oh, it's fine. You see how cool this like interactive debugger. I got the unbound variable exception and I immediately jumped to the place where the problem is happening. Oof. So cool. So insanely cool. Test body sung. Wrong type to apply F. Okay. Of course, it would be cool to have an ability to inspect values of the frame, but it's not yet implemented, so we don't have them. But we can use very old method. Procedure new test body sunk. New test body sunk. Add loaded test. Okay. State new TBT. And new TBT is like this. Okay. Okay, the problem is here. The problem is that UTBT. We have after execution mechanism. Yeah, now it fixed. Okay, we basically implemented the idea, and now it works, and we can even restart it multiple times, and can even fix function symbol. Cool. If I run all the tests, it probably will fail somewhere. I'm almost sure. Yeah, it failed horribly. Expecting pair in runs ut. This is because we have like we are in the middle of migration from one execution mechanism to another, and I'm not finished yet. That is why this change is not enough to completely migrate to a new way, but we quite close. Okay, let's unfortunately I can't jump to the place where the problem happens. That is why I will use my exceptionally cool debugger from here, and we'll jump to the place where it fails. It fails here because it tries to. Why it fails here? Because it tries to accept car of procedure. New test body sunk. Why I have a test body sunk as a suite here? I see. I know why it happens. This is actually the place where record would not fail. The problem is that we have a test predicate which should match the test, but it doesn't. We need to fix this predicate. And a list of x and a sock ref of x metadata. Oh, actually it should be chain of x metadata suitbl test, like this. Oh, okay, it works. Still not enough. List of x. Okay, let's let's jump here and let's pk. Wait, okay. Let's restart those tests and let's see the output. False. No. It should not be the false. Clearly. Oh, okay. I did the wrong thing. I printed the result of predicate, but I need to print an item itself. And the item is just a list. New test body sunk. Also, do you remember where we were copying? Where we were copying the metadata? We also need to set procedure property of new test body sunk. After that, it should be property name, right? Procedure name of test body sunk, like this. Test sunk. We lost one important thing about set procedure property test body sunk name. String to symbol test description. Okay, it's need for readability. Okay, now it just print something. Original test body sunk. Good. No exceptions. Now we can rerun this failing test. Okay, basic atomic values. Run suite. I see. Where we load our test. Load test. Test reporter, original. Blah blah blah. Suite pass, new test body sunk. It should be new TBT, I guess. Okay, now we have a very different problem. Are remaining items. Run suite. Okay. Okay, and now we got to the point where we have test body sunk without metadata. How it happened? We have metadata equal to false. We lost metadata somewhere on the way. It is said test sunk dbt metadata. At least we have like 3 fields in each metadata. How we could lost it? New test body. Definitely need to clean up all this test suite and hierarchy stuff. It's too much convoluted. We adding items to suite items. Okay, current. Chain current suite items. Comic box ref. Suite body sunk value. I rely on the fact in the implementation that the test suite is a list and test itself is a procedure. However, I think I used the corresponding predicates, so we should be fine. It variable. Let's restart one more time. Run suite. We have suite results with start car suite. We start a suite with procedure based test runner test. Blah blah blah. and now we loop, and procedure is usage test, blah blah blah, we loop, and here run suite test body sunk metadata f. Oh, actually I can simplify. Metadata test body sunk should be enough. If you have test body sunk in the list, in a list, it's already assigned that it is a test, right? Okay. Okay. It was indeed the problem with the test predicate and the fact that we have lost metadata somewhere on the way. So when I updated the test predicate, it started to work. Let's remove our debug output. We will figure out the metadata problem later. Right now, let's just check that we have test executed, but we have some other problems like assertions not counted for some reason, and probably something else bad happened, but whatever, we will fix it. We reached our goal. We updated the representation, the runtime representation of the test, and actually this is another place where we need to improve before writing a good specification. Testing library. We need to improve those predicates like suite body sunk, test, and whatever else, right? So we can be more clearer about what we mean by test. If test is a runtime entity, or if test is a like declarative stuff that we see in the code. We should be very precise here, so it's clear and not confusing. Okay, I think that will be it for today. We did two important things. We renamed test suites to suites, and we changed the representation of the test, the runtime representation of the test, from a procedure with attached properties to a list. Maybe we will change it to record, or maybe we will do something else. But the important thing is that we get rid of Guile specific implementation stuff. Of course, we need a bit of clean up and refactoring, but it's already kind of works. The good thing that we went through the capabilities today during the stream. Somewhere, I think after like 15 or 20 minutes into the stream, we started to explore the capabilities of our current test runner, and it was quite easy to modify to get all the flexible behavior for exceptionally rapid and interactive development workflow. And on this bright note, I will finish the stream. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in a bit.